through His Word, the Bible. So let's go into it, and I pray that everyone will be ready and allow their spirit to be ready to hear from God, because when we read from the Bible, I know, because every time, I don't know, it happened to me, and I'm sure it happened to so many other Christians. You may read the Word of God today, you understand it in one way, and tomorrow you hear it in another way, you understand it in a completely different way. That happens, and it's a spiritual thing. It's normal, because the Word of God is the voice of God. The Word of God is the breath of God. And God cannot be enclosed or be put together or be hidden in one thing. Like, I read this about God, I know this is the only way and this is the only translation. God is big. God is big, because today you may read one scripture and tomorrow you read another scripture connected to what you read yesterday, and from those two verses you come to understand both of them at the same time, in a completely big way, and it just in a way that is amazing and incredible. So the Word of God is the breath of God, and it's new every time, and that's the reason why His grace changes every day, and it's renewed every day, because He is a God that knows everything that is good for us, and He knows what is to be provided to us, and He knows the best way to take care of us. And from that, most of the time we can read the Word of God, understand it based on what we are going through that way, and tomorrow, based on what you experience, you get to understand the Word of God in a different depth. It is like, you get to hear it with so many details, and you get to understand it in just in a whole different level. So the Word of God is His voice. So when we come to a time like this, we come in expectance. We come expecting Him to speak to us, and it's usually good to let our spirit be controlled by Him, or allow ourselves to hear only what He has to say. Because when we allow our spirits to be committed just to Him, or to be devoted to Him, or allow our spirit just to be in complete dependency on Him, whether He tells us something new, or whether He tells us something that we already know, we expect something. I think coming with a spirit that is ready always help us as believers to grow daily in our faith growth. So I pray that everyone will be ready and expecting God to speak to them through this word. So just wanted to say that before we continue. So hopefully everyone is doing well, and we're going to jump into the Word of God. So we're going to be focusing on the word that says to be right with God, or to be put in a right mindset, or in a right status that is good before God. And we are going to find that scripture, or those, we're going to find that the theme or the words connected to that in the book of Romans chapter 5. And I'm not going to cover the whole chapter word by word. Whenever you have time, it will be good to just read the whole chapter, because it talks about how God wanted for so long to be closer to us, to be with us at all times. But because of sin, we were separated. But God had God had in His plan another solution to use to still bring humans or to still bring humanity closer to Him, because that was His original plan in the beginning. All right. So I'm going to just summarize the whole chapter, but when you get a chance, just read it over. It'll be helpful to you. It's not a long chapter. It's really short, 18 verses, actually 21 verses. So to be right with God. So just as a small historical reference, this word that is talked about here in Romans began from Genesis. In the book of Genesis, the Bible tells us that God created humans, and God created humans that He will be with them at all times. And God visited the Garden of Eden at all times. And when Adam knew that God was in the garden, he would feel Him. He would know that God is in the midst. And the Bible tells us that he conversed or he talked with God, not face to face, but one on one. God is a spirit, and no one has ever seen Him. So he spoke with God. Adam and God spoke together, verbally, in a conversation, basically. So God was that close to humans. And later on, we come to see that conversation carried on even during the time of Abraham. Abraham talked with God, and God was like a friend to Abraham. And everything that Abraham wanted to do, he asked God first, and God gave him instructions to follow. And when he followed all those instructions, everything was good. All right. So let's back up a little bit. So during the time of Adam and Eve, as we all know, they were so close with God, and God trusted Adam to the point where He gave him everything in the world to be in His control. And with that, he was able to name every animal that you can see or that you might have seen, or even animals that you haven't heard of or seen. Every one of those animals here on earth, Adam had the power to control each one of them or to be with each one of them, and he called each one of them. So today we know a goat is a goat, or we know a lion is a lion because of what he did. All this meaning originated from that time. So God trusted a human with everything here on earth. And as we all know, God also, when He gives you instructions, He also gives you setbacks or things that you should know as your boundaries. So God gave him everything. He gave him all the control, but He told him to not touch the tree or the fruits that come from the tree that is in the center of the garden. Amen? So God gave him instructions to follow. At the same time, He gave him full control of everything. And later on, because the devil was already on earth, and the Bible tells us that he is a deceiver. So he came to Adam. Actually, he came to Eve, and through Eve, he came to Adam to deceive them. So basically, what he came to both of these people, actually, yeah, I should say Eve. So he approached Eve when she was just going around the garden, and when Eve got near, the Bible tells us that when she was near the tree, which was planted in the center of the garden, immediately the devil also showed up, and he showed up in a way of a serpent or a snake. And through that snake, he was able to speak to Eve about that tree. Remember, God told them not to touch it, not to get any fruit from it, or not to get close to it. But when the devil was in this conversation with Eve got to a point where she was just so persuaded, and she reached out and grabbed the fruit and took it. And when she took it, the Bible tells us that she ate it, and she took it to her husband, and Adam also ate. And from that point, that's when sin came to the world. Before that, everything was all good, and from that moment, that's when the number of how long a human being can live on earth was set. Before that, a human being would live for a long time, for forever. There was no number. That's what the Bible tells us. There was no number. But after sin came, the humans now have a time where they can live too. And that's why, so many people die at a very young age. And I don't think any human has reached the edge of 120. I mean, so God created a limit of the life of a human from that, from sin. So sin comes with a lot of consequences, and sin, one of the consequences is death. With sin, you can not only be far away from God, but it can also lead you to death. So how does it set you away from God? The Bible tells us that God hates, with a big H, hates sin. So sin is something that we are to avoid. We are to set our mind to avoid it at any level as possible. So the Bible also tells us that sin came to the world through one man, which is Adam. And when sin came to the world, the Bible tells us that God left humans. God left humans because God could not live with humans anymore because they were sinful. God is holy, and God wants to be with people that are holy. But with these scriptures that are within this chapter, Romans chapter 5, the Bible tells us that even though sin sets us apart from God, God has created a solution to draw us closer back to Him again. And the Bible also tells us that in the Old Testament, for a human being to be got back to reconciliation with God, or to be right with God again, they had to bring a sacrifice, and the sacrifice had to be a dove. If you all know what a dove is, it's one of the precious birds that is out there. It's very humble, and it's very, very white. I don't know if very, very white is a color, but if you can think of something that is just pure white, that's how a dove is. And they're in different sizes. Some are big, some are small. But a dove is what you had to buy and bring it to the priest. And that priest would kill it and put it on a banner or an altar and be burned. So when that sacrifice was being burned, the smoke going to heaven was a symbol of God has forgiven you. God has forgiven you, has accepted you, your sacrifice. And there's also different references that, you had to do it in a specific way. And the way the smoke waved going to heaven, your smoke, basically your sacrifice, the smoke that came from your sacrifice had to go straight in a way to symbolize that you had been forgiven. So there were so many rules, there were so many steps that you had to accomplish in order to be forgiven, in order to be brought back to peace with God, or to be reconciled with God. Because when you have sinned, you are far away from God. To be brought back near God, or to be brought back closer to God, you have to bring this sacrifice. And with that sacrifice, there were so many other criteria that your sacrifice had to fall under in order for you to be completely forgiven. But in the New Testament, the Bible tells us that God, who is so loving, who is so caring, who loves us so much, has brought to us another gift, a gift that is free, a gift that is that can be accessed or can be achieved or be received by anyone who asks for it. And that gift is the blood of Jesus Christ. Basically, the Bible tells us that through one man, sin came to the world. And through another man, all human beings were brought to righteousness with God. And that one man who has brought us to righteousness is Jesus Christ. Basically, Jesus obeying God to come here on earth to die for us and to give us another opportunity to be closer to God has been one of the best, actually the best gift that God has given us. And it's free to each one of us. It's free to everyone who wants to receive it and anyone who wants to take it. The Bible tells us that for a long time we were enemies. And if you have an enemy, you do not like your enemy. You will hate your enemy. You will basically try by all means to stay away from your enemy, because the more you get close to your enemy, the more they will create different plans to kill you, because an enemy, all that they have in their mind is to kill you. They are your enemy. They are the people that hate you. So we were once, and for a long, long time, we were God's enemy. But with this precious gift that with this precious gift, which is Jesus Christ, that God brought to us, we are now God's friends. We are now God's friends. We are now people that God can call us as friends. And we are approved by God. We are people that can come at all times before God, and God can come to us. A friend is anyone who is anyone that you can talk to about anything. A friend is someone that you can talk to about anything. A friend is someone who is always welcoming to you. A friend is someone who is loving, who is caring, who is who wants the best for you. So we were enemies for God. We were enemies. God God, God looked at us, or God saw us as his enemies. But even though we were his enemies, God loved us. He basically did the opposite of what we humans can do to our enemies. He did the opposite. Instead of hating us as his enemy, he loved us. And instead of creating a plan to kill us, he created a plan to save all of us.
Amen.
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 He created a plan that can give us life, a plan that can give us hope, a plan that can give us another future. Because we did not have a future prior to Jesus dying for us. We did not have any hope because we knew that we were here for a time. Our time was limited, and we had to die, and that's it. We had no hope. We had no hope. Usually for those that did not have money to buy a sacrifice, they had no hope. They had no hope because they knew that they were not forgiven. And in order to see God, in order to be with God, you have to be forgiven. So think for a second. Think of that for a second. You had no hope because you did not have any money. But now, because we do not have to go and look for money and buy a dove or buy a sacrifice in order to be forgiven, we just have to ask forgiveness. We just have to tell God, God, I've sinned against you. And the Bible tells us that God, when you ask for forgiveness, God is ready to forgive you. God is ready to come near you and forgive you and set you free and help you along the way. Because when you sin, remember, in many miracles that Jesus did, he did a miracle, but he also gave an instruction. Sin no more. Sin brings us guilt. Sin brings us diseases. Sin brings us death. And sin, with anything connected to sin, you will see it leading to death. And a lot of sicknesses that we get as human beings are basically because of sin. They are basically because of we living in a sinful world, in a place where we are surrounded with sin at all times. But take hope and know that forgiveness is available to you at all times. And you can never say that you are sinless. You can never say that I am pure. We can try to say that at all times, but the Bible will prove us wrong. It will prove us wrong because we are born. We are born. Basically, once, remember, Adam and Eve sinned against God before they had children. And the Bible tells us that everything that happened after that, the ground was cursed from sin. And the Bible tells us that everything that was born out of Adam and Eve was born in sin. So basically, any human being that is born into this world is born with a sin, or I should say, is born with the ability. Yeah, he is born with a sin, but not in a sense to say that, okay, this child that I just gave birth to is sinful. Not in that sense. I'm saying that he's born with a sin because they have the ability, they have the inner power in themselves to sin. Let me ask you this. I think this will make sense. When you see your siblings, maybe your siblings might be 3 years old, or maybe 1 year old, or maybe 3-year-old. If you have that child or that sibling, if you take them to your neighbor who has the same child with the same age, so your neighbor has a 3-year-old, you have a 3-year-old. When your son or your child or your sibling who is 3 has like a toy, and that neighbor's child not have a toy, they will do, if you do not pay attention to what they're doing, you will see them fighting, because that child that does not have a toy will try their best to get the toy out of the hand of the other one. And when that toy is taken out of the hands of the other one will fight back. And most of the time, that's how you see children, just little kids fighting for no reason. And if you are very careless, or if you are not watching your siblings, your young siblings, when that happens, a lot of times they hurt themselves. And you'll see a child who is 3-year-old or a child who is 2 years old scratched another child and created like wounds, scratches, or small wounds. And you would ask yourself, how did this happen? How did this happen? Why did that child take that toy and threw it to the other child? Why? You can ask yourself why little children fight against themselves. Final solution that you can get to, you can say, okay, they are just children. They are acting like children. They do not know what they are doing. They do not know how to not fight. No. They are born in sin. They are born with capabilities. They are born with the power to sin. So there's no way we can say that we are sinless, because we are born into this world with sin. We are born into this world with the ability to sin. We sin with our minds. We sin with our will, which is, how we act, how we carry ourselves, how we touch, what we touch. We sin in so many ways. So the only thing that we are to do, it say in the Bible, in the book, in Psalms, the Bible tells us that a heart of humility is a heart that God is pleased with.
Amen.
And a heart that sees themselves as nothing, as like they are worthless in a way before God. They have no pride. They have no worth before God. A heart that is humble, a heart that is not prideful, a heart that knows at all times, God, I am sinful, forgive me. A heart that understands that I have sinned, I have done something wrong, I have to ask for forgiveness. The Bible tells us that if you say that you have no sin, you have proved, you have denied that God exists. That's what the Bible tells us. So there's no way we can tell ourselves that we have no sin. We are basically lying to ourselves. The best thing to do when we sin, ask for forgiveness. Know inside yourself that you have sinned.
Right.
And when you acknowledge your sin, you will know how to ask for forgiveness. You will know how to go before God and kneel, asking for forgiveness. There is a reason why David was one of the most sinful person who also was used by God, whoever existed. David did so many bad things. David did so many sins. One of the sins was he took another man's wife and killed that man. It's like he saw a woman, he wanted that woman by force, and in order to get the lady to be his own wife, who at the moment was someone else's wife, in order to get the wife or to get the lady, he had to kill his husband. So he went and killed his husband, and by doing that, he was able to get the woman that he had affection, or he had he just wanted that lady by force in a way. So I mean, like, I'm trying to say that he did a lot of sin. He did so many things that are just so evil, but yet he was one of the best person that God loved because he knew how to humble himself when he sinned against God. The whole chapter of Psalms 51 talks about how he asked for forgiveness. It's a prayer of forgiveness. It's a prayer. It's a song, but at the same time, it's a prayer that David made to God, asking God, I know I have sinned against you. God, I know I've killed that person. I know that sin. Forgive me. I know I have taken someone else's wife. Forgive me. I know I have cheated so many people. I have done so many evil. God, forgive me. He was one of the best person. The Bible calls him that. The Bible tells us that God called him the apple of my sight. An apple is something sweet. An apple of my sight is basically a proverb telling us that God was pleased with David. An apple of my sight is basically having something that is in front of me that is pleasing, that is sweet, that is loving. God loved David for his forgiveness, for his humility, for his ability to ask for forgiveness, for himself knowing that when I sin against God, I will know. And when I know, I will ask for forgiveness. Let's humble ourselves at all times. The way we speak with our friends at school, the way we carry ourselves at school, the way we speak back to our teachers, our brothers, our parents, our leaders, people that are around us. The Bible tells us that when you are talking, talk talk knowing your limits. You cannot just say anything. You need to think before you speak. With the way we talk, with the way we act, with the way that we carry ourselves, we do sin against God in numerous times, in just many ways. One thing that we need to know is that the Bible tells us that there was a law. A law was created. If you read, okay, so I was basically giving a summary of the whole chapter, Romans chapter 5. But let me go to verse number 13. So Romans 5, verse 13. There was sin in the world before the law was given. But where there is no law, no account is kept of sin. What is this saying? There was sin in the world before law was given. So basically it's telling us that prior to creating a law, prior to God giving us instructions, a sin was already in the world. A sin was already in the world. What is a law? A law is basically your limits, things that you can do, things that you cannot do. For those that have started driving, you know that you have to drive with limits. You know that you have to drive knowing that there are certain rules that you have to obey, that you have to abide with at different locations. There is rules or there's laws that you have to follow with the signs that you see around. But there's also laws that you have to follow with just the way you drive. The place that you drive, how you stop, there's laws that you have to follow. You know, if you stop so close to a person, they can give you a ticket. If you take the wrong turn, they will give you a ticket. There's just so many laws that are set out for the protection of ourselves and the people that are in the road. So there's laws or rules. So rules are set to give us limitations, to give us how far we can carry ourselves, how far we can do things or certain things. So God gave us law. So before the laws that God gave us, sin was already in the world. But God gave us laws to follow them in order to know our limits. We as Christians, we have to have limitations. We have to know how to stop ourselves from doing certain things. Remember, we are not of ourselves. We belong to God. And because we belong to God, we have to do things that are in resemblance to the people of God. The people of heaven. The people of heaven are righteous. The people of heaven are people that carry love. The people of heaven are people that do what is right. So with whatever we do, let's know that we have our limitations. Let's know that we can do everything, but not everything is good for us. We can do everything. We are allowed. We have the freedom. Remember, by the way, just because Adam and Eve allowed themselves to obey the devil and not obey God, from that point when that sin was done or when that happened, rights were given to humans. Now we have a right to choose. You can choose to say certain things. You can choose to not say certain things. Basically, the power to choose is in your hands. It is within you. God cannot choose for you. God cannot choose for you because He wanted to create the perfect life for every human being, but human beings just chose a different route. And because of that, now you just have a choice. But God still allows us to give us rules to help us with our choices, to help us know that, okay, God wants this kind of things. God loves this kind of things. I have to make sure I follow those kind of things that God likes. I have to make sure I abide into His laws for the protection of me. Because anytime you allow yourself to be controlled by sin, you are basically allowing yourself to be controlled by the devil or by Satan. Satan is to rule over everyone, to lead them to destruction, to lead them to death, to lead them to going against God. Satan is all about that. He sinned against God, and now he wants everyone to sin against God. But we have to make a choice to not allow him, him. And in order to do that, you have to know your word. You have to know the Bible. You have to know your Bible. Sometimes, the devil also knows the Bible. The devil also knows the Bible. So he can try to manipulate a verse that you know in the Bible in a way that can be persuasive to you. And if you are not careful, you get carried on. You get carried on and find yourself in sin. So how does this play? How does this happen? So when Eve was looking at that fruit, she looked at it. Instead of turning away from it, she continued looking at it. And as she was looking at it, the devil was also telling her. He was speaking to her. And one of the things that the serpent or the devil spoke to Eve was saying that God told you not to touch or eat from the tree that is in the center of the garden because he knew. Remember, he's telling them that God told them not to eat, but he's now persuading them from so that they can turn away from believing what God told them. God told them, don't. But now he's telling them, God told you not to eat from that tree or that is in the center because he knew. Remember, he's giving him a reason. He's giving him all reason order to make her be persuaded. So he told you not to eat from this because he knew that if you eat from this, you will become wise and become like him. Here, he's trying to play with the mind of Eve. He's trying to play with her and persuade her and bring her to his side. So he knew that you would become like God. And Eve, not knowing, God told her no. God told her instructions. God told her what not to do. She went away. She went ahead and was persuaded by the devil, reached to the apple. People say it's an apple. We do not know exactly. The Bible tells us a tree that is in the center of the garden. Some people say it was an apple tree. Some people say it was something else that produces fruit. But all we should know is the tree was fruitful. It was something that had fruit. So she reached and grabbed that fruit and ate it. And at the same time, she went ahead and gave it to her husband. So the devil will play with you in order to sin. God has given us rules. God has given us our no. We should know our no's. We should know when we should say, no, devil, this is God's way. I will commit to this. I will not allow myself to sin against God because what you are trying to lead me to is sinful, and I cannot allow you to do that. We have to know our Bible. We have to know what we should do and what we should not do.
Amen.
The way we speak, the way we talk, the way we act, the way we respond to what people do to us at school. Remember, the Bible tells us that if someone hits you on one side, do not be quick to do not respond by hitting them back. And that can be a proverb. Jesus told us that if someone slaps you from one cheek, do not slap them on their cheek as well, but instead allow yourself to be slapped on the other cheek. You understand that? So basically, if you are slapped on one side, allow yourself to be slapped on the other side. Basically, he's teaching us humility. If someone does you wrong, you cannot pay them back with wrong. Instead, pray for them. Ask God that God will bring them to an understanding that they have done you wrong. And once they pray for them, and I'm saying that pray for them, God will save them. God will help them understand that they have done you wrong. And the next thing, you will see them coming to you and asking for forgiveness. The reason why Jesus told us if someone does you wrong, do not respond them with wrong, is because a lot of times when you respond with wrong, the problem becomes worse. Instead of someone disliking you, or instead of someone not liking you, now because you responded to them with evil, now they are going to hate you. And the next thing, they are going to plan to kill you. But if you allow yourself to not respond with bad, you allow themselves to speak and understand that, okay, I've done this person wrong. You're allowing them to understand. I mean, the world is evil already. The world is evil, but it matters how we respond to the evil of the world. And remember, the Bible tells us that the battle is not of ours, but it's His. The fights are not ours. The fights are God. So if someone fights against us, we should not be the one fighting. God will be the one that will fight for you. Hallelujah. God will be the one that will fight for you. Do not respond with fight. Do not respond with fight. Instead, pray for them and ask God to strengthen you, to give you strength that you may overcome the temptation that you are going through. So, brothers and sisters, the Bible and the Word of God is to all of us.
Amen.
To allow ourselves to examine ourselves at all times. We know, this, the Bible tells us that we were born in sin. We need to know at all times that we are sinful people, and we need to ask for forgiveness at all times. And we need to be watchful. We need to be cautious of what we do. Be very cautious with what you see around. Be very cautious with what you do at school, at work, at wherever. Be very mindful and allow yourself not to be directed into sin, but be yourself into sin, and do not allow the devil to continue pushing you into sin, but tell him, no, I cannot allow you to do this. He plays with our psychological, he plays with our mind to lead us to know that what we know about God is wrong. And because of that, we should act against the way we know the Bible or the way we know God. But the devil is there to devour and to destroy. But be very watchful and know that even though he can come and devour or kill, I will be very watchful. When he comes, I will know. And he comes in a lot of ways. He comes mostly to deceive you and to lead you to not obey God, to not obey God. So Christ has come to the world to give us another hope. And through that hope, we are given peace. And peace that we will, and the peace is that we have confidence to know that we have another way to get connected to God. We have another way to see God. We have another opportunity to see God. The opportunity wasn't there, but through Christ, the opportunity has been made.
Yeah.
But remember, God's forgiveness, and God will always forgive you. God bless you all. Amen.
Amen.